Have you found yourself wishing something would happen and yet not taking action on it? Have you hoped that someone would do something and yet you didn't step up and do it?
So today's quote comes from that lipstick cosmetic industry, the great Estee Lauder. And she once said, I didn't get there by wishing for it or hoping for it, but by working for it. I think that's so powerful, right?
Working for it is right. And it's that reminder that work is work, and it doesn't mean we can't enjoy it, and yet it's about putting in the effort. So welcome to Lipstick Leadership. Today's episode is about that. How do we look at what we want to have happen, how we hope something will have happen, and take action? And as you'll hear from both of us, very intentional, inspired action. That's what we're talking about today. Hi, I'm Debbie Lundberg, founder and CEO of Presenting Powerfully by Debbie Lundberg.
And I'm Meridith Alexander, CEO of Grit Mindset Academy. And we are so glad to have you here on this episode where we empower women and men, because we know you're listening, women and men to achieve greatness through, not just greatness, to empower people to have their greatness through communication, resilience, and yes, grit. So welcome to this really powerful quote, right?
Taking action, having it work. Estee Lauder saying that, and I'm guessing, I don't even know the perspective, but I can almost feel that somebody probably said something like, oh, you're so lucky, or this turned out just great, or you were in the right place at the right time. In those comments, when people say to me, oh, timing is everything, what I tend to say back is, timing is telling, because it's what I do at that time that matters. And I know that a lot of people, it feels comforting to call something luck or say something was unlucky because we're not really then accountable to it. It's that you and I know, and we want our listeners to know, that it's about taking accountability, taking action, and then taking the next action toward it. I'd say working at it and for it. I tend not to say hard work, and some people do, but I feel like putting in the work, knowing what the outcome is, doesn't mean it'll be that exact outcome. It might be even better. And yet I'm willing to put in the work. And I know you are too, Meridith.
So true. So true. And I think this is such a sticky topic because I think there are different kinds of action, right? And I feel like sometimes I know I have clients, and I would suspect you do too, who come to me and they're so focused on wanting something to change. They're like, I'm so ready for something to change. I'm stuck. I should be so much further right now, that they will almost demand that I provide some kind of action that they can take right now, right here, right now, right here, right now, that's going to work. However, I think super important with that is that it be inspired action, because to your point, it's not sustainable if we're just taking action. When you're on a hamster wheel, you are taking action, right? We don't want you to be on a hamster wheel. We want to be inspired. So Debbie and I were sharing that this often leads into that realm of action versus the law of attraction. And that can be a really sticky point. And I'll be honest with you that I am loath often to say that I am a proponent of the law of attraction, because it's often so misinterpreted, I believe. So let me share with you. Yes. So let me share with you that, to me, that word attraction is actually a contraction for the law of attracting the right action. How does that resonate with you, Debbie?
It resonates beautifully in that it is what we want to have, and it's how we are willing to take action to get it, even to get to certain people, and to not use them or expect them to take the action. It's collaborating with them, being around that energy, learning from them, sharing with them. And you know it so well from what you've gone through. And similarly, I tend not to talk about it. And I know you've experienced and heard me say before that I believe that people who perhaps read the book and good for them, or watched the movie, if they didn't really embrace it or look at it fully, the secret that they forgot is to take action. And they thought, well, now if I just think about checks in the mail, they will come. And that's not how it works. And I like to think of it as shift from when you talked about, yes, if I have coaching clients come to me and they say, well, what should I do? What do I do? What do I do? I tell them, it's not about what I tell you to do or what you quote unquote should do. It's more about your thinking, what will I do now? And that's a willingness, an ability, and a drive to get to that intentional action. So I believe it as well as you do, that it's all about how we take action and in what we are willing to do.
And what I have found is that when you get that inspiration and you are able to really clearly define your focus, hop forward in time and look back and say, 5 years from now, what do I want to have experienced? What sort of growth do I want to have seen? What sort of contribution do I want to have been part of? When you can clearly get that picture where it starts to trigger that emotional response in you, and that is a key point, that getting your goals to the point where you can feel them, taste them, touch them, then that to me ignites the desire to create action. And that is what I would call inspired action. And when you're quote unquote working that way, it's almost like the Peter Pan saying that, you know, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Right, Debbie?
Yeah. So here we are summarizing it for our listeners to say, if you want something to happen, want it enough to be willing to take action. If we were to summarize it very briefly, there it is. Be inspired, be clear on your focus, jump ahead, see where you want to be, look back, and take that path there by saying, instead of what should I do, say what I will do next, and keep getting yourself there. That is our show for you today. And I'm Debbie Lundberg, and you can find me at debbielundberg.com or Debbie Lundberg on all social media. So please stay in touch.
And let me also mention that Debbie is launching an 8-module program of leadership learning that covers a lot of the things that we actually touch upon here too. So if you're looking for something to really turbocharge your trajectory like we talk about, definitely reach out to Debbie. It's going to be awesome. And I'm Meridith Alexander, CEO of Grit Mindset Academy. We're both here for you. We are passionate about seeing you just rocket fuel your day here. So we hope that these tips have been helping you. If they have, we hope that you will give us a thumbs up below. Maybe leave a comment, leave an idea, leave a suggestion, leave the part that resonated the most with you. We'd love to hear from you. And also go ahead and subscribe to this, because that way we can keep you in the loop with some of the other really cool quotations from these amazing people that we come up with. And
you can go back and listen. You can move forward, because no matter what episode you listen to on Lipstick Leadership, we are here empowering women and men to greatness through communication, resilience, and grit. So thanks for being with us today.
Woo!